Aloha and welcome back. I'm Panther, and this is Final Fantasy Renaissance version 2.0.4 Classic Run, single character. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm building up to get at least the silver. Thankfully speaking, Shine's got more than enough armor to tank most hits and tons of health. It's just going to be the really problematic thing of dealing with the undead, paralyzed stuff. I think that's kind of the first time that around this time frame I'm level like 8 and those guys didn't scare me. These guys do. Oh, this is gonna be bad. 56 hit points. They don't do a whole lot of damage. Let's give it a shot. Yep. What I hope is that Shine wakes up at the end of the turnarounds. This sort of also gives me a good idea of whether or not this is going to be a problem in the future, and yeah, this is clearly going to be a problem in the future. When I get below like 50 health, and Shine hasn't gotten out of being stunned, I'm just gonna soft reset. Yeah. Doesn't really matter which ones of them I hit. 4,000 is what we're aiming for. Oh, right, yeah. We should go after the pirates. $4,000 is the first hurdle. I'm probably going to need like 50 or so pures, if I'm being honest, because that stuff is going to get real annoying real fast, and I have no spell way to deal with it ever. And until I get the first ribbon, that's gonna be the way it is for a while. I'm so used to the dude being here that it feels so weird that he's not. Also, don't forget, if you leave your game, hold reset while you turn power off. That's what it's supposed to say, but it keeps cutting off when in the Renaissance version. I don't know why. Yeah, these guys are zero threat. Especially considering, because it's not New Game Plus, they just don't deal enough damage to get by his Absorb. It's not even Renaissance, so... It is so weird not being able to tell any statistics on the stuff without things. Alright, I should definitely take a look at the dwarf cave. Having equipment that you don't see any of the statistics until you equipped it, look at your stuff and whatnot, feels so bad. But to the credit of the people who worked on this, nowadays that's easy coding stuff because people have done it before. The time this thing was being made, like the original version of this being made, nah, that wasn't easy shit. Like, that wasn't even close to easy shit. That was far from the easiest stuff available. The amount of stuff they packed into this NES ROM was actually pretty awesome. But that's also why the next Final Fantasies were not on the NES. They were on the SNES. Because they're like, nah, we ain't trying a harder or a more elaborate story with that. Hell no, we tried that once, that didn't work. I will definitely say this. Having Shine take all the hits from people who are not New Game Plus is just like, huh, I don't have to worry too much about, you know, the damage right now. Like, if he taps out at 50 absorb, air and the arc close are definitely going to be a problem. Fighters are going to be, like, any of these guys are automatically going to be a problem, but that's for a very different reason. Yeah, I can see that most of these guys' damage is still going to be a problem, but by the time he gets that far, he's going to have so much fucking hit points. Mind you, I'm going to be burning through potions like goddamn crazy, and I can only buy them one at a time. And not being able to see whether or not the chests get open. Oh. And yes, Morisame is going to replace the Excalibur because I do not think that this version of the Excalibur is actually going to be any good. Yep. Mystic Key, not like I can buy any of the things without hacking or glitching. It's wild to me that those were hard-coded in, but at the same time, it kind of makes a little sense. So, my rationale behind why the crown and the key are used on the way they are is originally the people behind Final Fantasy wanted to make it more open world, like kind of the original concept for Zelda, where you could go to any dungeon and do it in any order and that sort of thing. But the problem with that is that there's no way to scale in this game. They're hard-coded numbers that do one specific thing, and that's it. So at the end of the day, yeah, overall, this is a wild ride, but I understand why most of the time, nah. They felt that it was better if they didn't touch this. Alright, I need to look this up, because this is bugging me. Alright, gold-wise, 15, that's not great. 195, that's good. It's a K, right? There you are. 120. Yeah, no. They're way worth. Nah, they're way more worth it. Oh hell yeah! And once I get the silver sword, it's just gonna be kill a couple of these guys and get around 25 to 50 pures, as well as maxing out my stock of potions. Will I even need to max out? Yeah, it's probably just going to be a safer bet to do that. If I'm being honest with myself. I think 2 more of those and I'll have enough. Or 4 if you want to be stingy about the monsters. I also don't mind him gaining levels because of this. There we go. Right. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. I already got all the armor stuff I really wanted from here. Right. Ooh, I got 7. Woohoo! Let's not try for the cave just yet. So what I'm going to do is save here, because it's cheaper. And we're going to see how bad it's going to be in the Marsh Cave. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, fine. We'll save here, then. We'll pick up a couple more viewers. I don't have any reason that I can think of to go out of my way for the chests. Actually, no. Because this is going off of OG stuff. That's not helpful. There you are. Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. 2A, 2B. 680, 620, and a large and short sword. Don't give a shit about any of that. Don't give a shit about that. The crown, yeah, no, none of this, at least in the Marsh Cave, from what I can see, I am not gonna give a shit about the loot in it. So, let's go ahead and just gun it to the end. Right now, we're trying just to get there. Like, seeing how bad it's gonna be and all that jazz. Like, the wizards are probably gonna stomp my face into the floor. Because... there you are. They hit 30 to 60 times 2. I have a damage reduction, I think, of like 32? An absorb, sorry, but still. $32. Oh shit, I actually remembered that properly. Hey, ogre. Bye, ogre. Hey, ogre. Bye, ogre. Took a turn more. Whatever. Muck. Absorb of 7. I'm gonna have to use potions after this, but yeah, I'm gonna need to stock up on stuff. You guys I have no issue with. Gargoyles, what damage do you do? Not enough for me to care. Unless you crit. God, this actually feels like the times that I had the original game, because I had gotten a Final Fantasy strategy guide from Goodwill. Oh, please let me hit that crawl. Nope. And there's no repels because this is not New Game Plus. So there's no way for me to dance around any of this. Doesn't make me look forward to the wizard fight, because if it's 4 wizards, I'm done. I won't be able to do it, and I'll have to go grind and all that stuff. But I want to give it at least a try with what I have, because once I get out of this area, I don't have to worry about that annoyance anymore. Thanks to my prior job, I've grown. So ghouls can paralyze, but what about zombies? Zombies cannot. So... Of course, it's the first fucking move. Like, at this point, this isn't deterring me in the same respect, just because, in all honesty, whoop-de-fucking-do. It's more the annoyance of, like, man, thanks to my prior job, that word that I keep using, annoyance, came back and bit me because I used it improperly, and I got a boss pretty pissed off at me. Yeah, it didn't feel great, but, you know, whatever. I'll definitely say, as much as I lament not having my job anymore, let's give one shot. As much as I lament not having my job anymore, yeah, we're not doing this. I'm glad I'm not working there right now, because, dear God, I trust 90% of the people I work with. Fuck you! But all it takes is that 10%, that one person, and nah. Like, being let go was one thing, but man, if they had their way, it would have been a way different deal, and it would have been way worse. especially in this climate of everything. Like, I remember getting upset at a coworker because they kept venting their political views during work hours, and it's just like, I don't come to work to listen to you rant about political stuff. Can you stop? But I was pretty spineless at that point, and it's just like, I get it. You're frustrated about these events, and you want to talk about it in your own way, and da 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 da. And I get that. It's okay. That's fine. That particular person, by the way, did not stay. There, fucking thing. He left, then had to come back, and then left again. And it's because the work, like, he wasn't paid what it was worth. None of us were. But that wasn't our boss's fault. Technically, it wasn't even our boss's fault. Mostly. Our boss's boss was responsible for a lot of things that should have worked, but ended up not. Like me having a job anymore. No, he couldn't have stopped the layoffs, but if he had actually fought hard enough for the people who were under him, he would have been able to get us, at least the senior testers, the element of being a actual employee of there. Fuck. Okay. It's not that bad. No, that's terrible. Can you attack first? Thank you. Ah! Yeah, okay, I can't do this. I kind of wish that I would have found that information out a lot sooner. But that's fine. I just need... I need levels. That's what it is at this point. The amount of pures I need does not matter that much. Because I just need the hit points, because it doesn't matter how many pures I have. They deal too much damage. Fucking god damn it. Yeah. I can imagine the type of talkings that would happen. And here's the thing. Like I said, 90% of the people who I worked with, I trusted, and they knew me enough to know that either they could talk to me about something, or if I was saying something, it was not something that I was, like, all that particularly gonna push. At least I think that way. Clearly, the world is far more convoluted than it really needs to be. Mostly because so many people take advantage of other people's trust and honesty that nobody wants to be honest or trustworthy. And I don't say no, I say nobody facetiously, because that's not true. I want to be honest. I want to be trustworthy. I want to be clear with people when it comes down to a lot of things. But I understand that there are still time frames where you can't. Hazardous scenarios where you have to be, like, you have to zip your lip and, you know, not deal with individuals on a first name basis or the like. So I'm gonna guess. God yeah, that's all I can do. I'm gonna gain a couple levels. Yeah, that's all I can think of doing at this point. Like, it's not whether or not I can get past the zombie individuals. Like, that is a problem. Do not get me wrong on that front. And that's going to be a problem even if I do deal with the wizards. But the fact of the matter is, right now, I cannot handle 4 at once. And more importantly, I can't deal with them reliably in one shot. So I need to gain levels. Yeah, I need to stop venting about shit that doesn't pertain to the game, or games in general. Because I'm sure all of you are just sick and tired of hearing the real world. You're not here for real world stuff. There are billions of other fucking channels for that shit. So for right now, yeah, I'll be quiet about that sort of stuff. The only thing I can think of at this point to say is, any of you use Redbox? I used to when I had income. Hell, even when I didn't have income, and I lucked out having my dad and sister support me. I am not delusional. I'm aware that I have a privilege in that regard, and love to be able to use that, but the thing is, if I use that privilege for anything more than just staying afloat and trying to get a job, I'm abusing my dad and sister. Not fun, not cool, not something I'm gonna do. Cool. Let's get that saved. I'm thinking level 15 might be the level for that. Either level 15 or when I start hitting 3 times. Because when I start hitting 3 times, Shine is just gonna decimate the wizards, or destroy the wizards. Apparently, decimate is a really poorly used word these days. It means to take something and cut it by 1/10. That's a decimate. Which, for a person, that sucks. 1/10 of you just suddenly missing, that's horrible. For something like a building, that's potentially bad. Sorry, hiccup. But yeah, no, yeah, and you use Redbox, like, because it's going away. Apparently the parent company of it, this is just from my light research. You could probably find the same information, or probably even more. The parent company, Chicken Soup for the Soul, love the name of the business, and much like every other business that feels like it's actually trying to help people and be good, it can't survive. Because you can't survive in the business world if you are a good business, because of the way the business world has been set up. It's just how it works. It sucks. It really does. But they filed for bankruptcy, so the red boxes that are out there now they've all got the same signs on them. And it kind of sucks, because I was like, man, I kind of want to work, like, look into working for a Redbox. Well, I didn't do it. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I'd be a part of yet another business that fell apart. I say that like I'm the responsibility for why my thing fell apart, and that is not true. That's on Microsoft's head. Them and this whole fucking Activision. You know what? I'm gonna keep falling back into that. And I need to stop. Have you guys ever had those moments where I'm a big lover of good crossover? There's plenty of crossovers that happen, but not many of them are good. Now, I've always thought about, hey, what happened if X person ended up in X game, but they were playing by their own rules? And how badly would that mess with the parent game? And 90% of the time, it generally works out that the person coming from one system going to another wins. And some of you might be like, what are you talking about? If the people from Final Fantasy go into Halo, it's like, whoa, first and foremost, you have to realize, in order for that to work, the Halo guys would have to go by the rules of this. So any statistical values their stuff has gets converted over to this stuff. It's one of the reasons why I don't know if any of you care about the Rooster Teeth death battle stuff. I liked it for a while because I thought it was a good place to get research into various franchises that I actually gave a shit about. But then I started to see the cracks in the mask. And it wasn't until the Twilight Sparkle versus Raven episode, more specifically them talking about building up to that episode, because they started around this time to have little meet and greets about talking about what they were gonna do and this and that. They were saying a lot of people were wanting Raven to go up against a lot of different individuals that were way above her weight class, like Scarlet Witch or Dr. Fate, or just yeah, no, I respect that, but that also got me thinking on a lot of the elements involved, where I had a discussion with a friend recently. Not recently. It's several months ago at this point, now that I think about it. But we were talking about one of those death battles. The death battle in question was Ace from One Piece, who's basically can turn into living fire. And then the guy from Fairy Tail who eats fire. It's okay. How is this a fight? No, I'm being serious. How is this a fight? And the friend brought up in the Fairy Tail anime, apparently there are still fires that even he can't actually consume. And if Ace's fire would be considered that type of fire, that would drastically change the way the fight worked. But they didn't even bother talking about that in the death battle at all. I watched it because I kind of like watching their animation, but I started getting really annoyed with the way they did their fights. Here's the thing. When it's characters that are developed in a world, let's take an anime. Anime is great for death battle to work with. Why? Because they do those kind of crazy, off-the-wall, massively powerful things, all the time. It's okay, cool. But here's the thing. When you're talking about characters who are they're not a part of that sort of thing, the Luke versus Harry Potter fight. Luke Skywalker versus Harry Potter. I thought it was actually the research behind it felt pretty good. That said, the amount of speed both characters were using were not what those characters would use. Basically, they were doing the thing that I didn't really dawn on until their 100th episode. Their 100th episode is the straw that broke my back. Where I fully dawned on what was happening with Death Battle and why it was bothering me in a lot of the times that things happened. Like, I could go over every last one of the ones and pick apart those stuff, but that's not this one. That's not what this channel's about. The straw that broke my back was when they were talking about how Mario would beat Sonic in the rematch with all the new Mario stuff. And their reason behind it was dumb. Like, it was honestly stupid. Their reason behind it is that while in the cap, and he's controlling an electrical body, he can think on the level of basically light speed. Meaning he could react to all these things, and I'm like, stop yourselves. As you said, his mind can do it. That doesn't mean his body can. There are plenty of people who can attest to the fact that their minds move way faster than their bodies. Guess what that means? They're not going to be moving as fast as their mind wants them to. They could see it coming but not be able to move to it. Oh wait, there was a character who did that in one of the things. Oh right, Naruto! Like, I'm not even joking, that was a line said by Sasuke at one fucking point. You guys should know that. They do. Here's the thing. They're not researchers. They're entertainers. And unlike Matt Pat, who leaned into the entertainment side to get people to watch his actual case studies and whatnot, these guys leaned into the research side to justify the wins of the fights. But here's the reality. Here's the ultimate reality. Out of every single fight, there was 12 at best that could be justified for the characters attacking each other. Just attacking each other. Out of the ones who would willingly kill each other, you're talking 5, maybe 6. The amount of extent they went to justify these two characters killing each other was just ignoring the fundamental factors behind a lot of the characters. And yeah, that started me down the road of just, yeah, certain things here, certain things there. But when I started looking past what imperfections they had as far as looking at the characters and what they could do, what they couldn't do, favoritism versus not favoritism, they're just entertainers. That's all they are. And it bothers me that there's nobody else who is doing better research than them, and they were still doing not great research. One of the things that stuck in my craw for a long period of time is the fight between Princess Peach and Princess Zelda. They outright said, we're not giving Princess Zelda the chic outfit because there's no point behind it. But they give Princess Zelda they didn't give Princess Zelda the chic outfit, but they gave Princess Peach her soccer outfit so that she could do her soccer kick to finish off the character. And they went into high detail of explaining that kick that wouldn't have happened if the character who is used to fighting on the battlefield with magic didn't forget that a sleep spell was cast and got hit by it. That's the only reason why Zelda got hit by that kick. That's it. It's just if she was chic, she would be dodging everything because Peach couldn't touch her. And it furthered down my craw when more and more people started spouting some portions of nonsense that bugs the shit out of me. Can you all stop using Super Smash Bros. As your point of reference for shit? Well, that's where they're all together. As toys! It is canonical that they are all toys in that universe. That's why Kirby cannot fly more than 6 jumps. I'm sorry. Everything else you find in that series is factually incorrect. Because they're all toys. They're all through one kid's imagination. But it doesn't matter who the kid is. Because of the very fact that someone like Kirby, who in his universe can fly indefinitely, not only indefinitely, he can spit out the air and then pull it back in and continue flying. Cannot do that in Super Smash Bros. Because it wouldn't be balanced. And that means all the rest of the shit everybody else does is not canonical. It's like, dudes, like, it bothered me the worst when Game Theory started using that shit, because they're the ones who pointed it out. That the entire thing is freaking a kid's imagination on display, and that's what you're playing with. His toys. It's just like, you guys pointed out, why do you keep going back to this thing? This is not, like, this is like going, okay, cool. So here's this really powerful character and this and that, and it's like, where'd you get that information? Oh, this fan fiction over here. But it was made by the creator. I don't care. Like, I don't care if the fan fiction was made by the creator of the... First off, how does that even work? And second off, in what light does a fan fiction override the canon? And any of you who are like, nowadays, you're wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong. No, don't get me wrong. I know there are good fan fictions out there, like stunningly good fan fictions. But just like a diamond in the rough, good luck finding those. Because that's fucking hard. Because there's more than enough people shelling their shit as the best ever. Have I made some? Yeah, sure, fine. I have made some. Do I tout them as the best things ever? Hell fucking no. I look back on them like, ah, shit, I forgot to mention this thing. I forgot to put that in. I forgot this detail. This detail was terrible. My grammar's shit. Hell, you guys hear me talking. Imagine how my writing is. And my writing is worse. I've got the structure of a good story in my head. And that's why I'm trying to get into animation and stuff like that, because that's in a medium that I can play with the dough, the clay, and have it move the way I want. Once I understand how to move the clay around, which I'm taking courses to do and everything like that. Oh man, heavy rambling. I'd speed up the battle at speed, but God, it's already going so fast. And it goes any faster, I might not be able to, like, figure out when a character has been stunned or stuff like that. And worse yet, when I go into the next run, I'm gonna get used to this speed, that extra speed, and then when it's gone, I'm gonna be like, oh no, it's gone! I don't want that. I don't want that. That's why I don't like temporary buffs in games. Like, a temporary buff you get from an expendable item, I hate that shit. I always like playing characters and classes that, at the end of the day, what you end up doing with that class isn't buffing yourself to high heaven, it's you got some passives going, and you're using all your actives to stay out of combat or deal a lot of damage in combat. I don't know why I have that mentality. I guess I like permanence. And a lot of the games felt really keen on getting you very aware that's like, well, if you used money and did this, and even before game monetization, I hated spending money on shit. I always held on to those healing items. I always held on to those elixirs. I always held on to that really awesome shit. Yeah, I was one of those guys. Like, my sister got a good hard chuckle out of the fact that when I was playing Final Fantasy IX, I was like, okay, I beat the hidden boss, and I did it just barely, and I'm like, oh shit, man, I need to build this up. Like, I need to do this, and like I had the pattern down, and like round 9 into the last guy fight, I beat him. I wasn't to my loop yet. My loop was round 12. So I was just like, but I hadn't even done my full damage yet. What the fuck? I'm the guy who overprepares. I'm always the guy who overprepares. And that's why I like playing this game right now, because I can't overprepare. Like, there's no way to overprepare. Oh, finally a level that didn't give me a whole lot. Only 5 HP. Alright, this has been enough rambling from me. Me talking this much has belted out enough hot air to make this room very warm. Reality is that for whatever reason, when I get upset, I actually generate more heat for some weird reason. So, yeah. When I feel embarrassed or angry, I generate fuck tons of heat. And it makes me uncomfortable in just about everything I'm wearing, which makes it harder for me to talk, which makes me more embarrassed or more angry, and, you know, yay. So I'll catch you all in the next episode where we spend this money, go gain 3 more levels, and then go and see about the Marsh Cave. Until then, have fun, be safe, and aloha.